p.m. for their $5 happy hour and try their new Chili Crisp dumplings. Bold, crunchy, and toss in a fiery crisp paired with a premium Wah beverage drink like their authentic Thai tea. Get both for just $5 only at Waba Grill. It's for you.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers wrapped up their two-game road trip up north with a 128-104 win at Sacramento. Luka Doncic played only 3 quarters but finished with 28 points and 9 assists. LeBron dropped 24 points. The Lakers beat Sacramento and Golden State by a combined 52 points. The Clippers snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 137-117 win over New Orleans at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. The 137 is a season high for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard had 23 points. The Clippers are at Golden State tonight. Congratulations to the UCLA women's basketball team. The number 2 team in the country beat USC Sunday 73-50 to finish 18-0 in the Big Ten Conference. The Bruins are the first women's basketball team to go undefeated in the Big Ten since Maryland did it in 2015. Charlize Leger-Walker led the Bruins with 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, I'm Tavish Smiley, and I have some news. The room is full. Our founding members cohort on the art of conversation has begun, and I could not be more energized by the professionals who said yes to mastering the craft. Their dedication to curating great conversations reminds me why I do this work. Now, if you wanted to join us and did not make it in time, I want you to hear this. The next cohort is coming. I do not have the firm dates yet, but I do have a waiting list. And everyone on that list will receive early access and special discounts when enrollment opens. After almost 40 years of interviewing world leaders and cultural icons, I am teaching everything I know. Don't miss your chance to be in the next room. Go to TavishTalks.com and get on the waiting list right now. That's TavishTalks.com. The conversation continues. Will you be part of it?
Yeah, man.
Set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
It is indeed. What a beautiful way to start the week. If you don't know, if you're new here, Saharah Ali is a meditation instructor. She's a yoga teacher, a sound healer, a life coach, astrologer, numerologist, and she is also a sound bath specialist. Saharah Ali and Mindful Mondays. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Why do I always do that? It's a tongue twister. KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, and for sure we are going to keep our head to the sky as we get our minds right this week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our power, wisdom, truth, and faith. This week, we're under the celestial influence of the last full moon total eclipse that will not be seen again until January 2028, tomorrow at 3:33 a.m. A total lunar eclipse is when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. This powerful full blood moon or worm moon total eclipse represents major changes. It's a turning point with a cosmic reset. It's shaking the status quo to start a new and improved path, revealing truth and karmic balance. It signals a time to surrender, a time where we are letting go of control and bringing forth an intense soul-shifting transformation and emotional release. It's transmuting our foundation, yielding balance, stimulated by Sun in Pisces, our spiritual, emotional roots, and the Moon in Virgo, the purifying alchemist distilling divine wisdom into tangible reality. It's aiding us to level up, to take our power back, and to no longer play small. This is not a manifestation lunar eclipse. This is a take the trash out cycle, where we give ourselves permission to reframe archaic beliefs, dissolving what no longer aids the evolution of our soul's purpose or our path. Most of all, having courage to step into fulfillment, honoring innate wisdom, reframing the value of our soul, rebirthing to live out loud our purpose and our gifts. We can no longer issue spiritual bypasses, a title given to me by the Grand Wizard McCoy Zeno. A spiritual bypass is when we step over negativity, hateration, and disrespect with the fallacy of maintaining our spiritual truth. The gift of this full moon lunar event empowers us to speak our truth, to be compensated, celebrated, and elevated for honoring our power, our worth, and our truth. Understand, celestial influences are built on the belief we exist in realms of interconnectedness, where all is one, as above, so below, as within, so without. We're in a setup of cosmic consciousness to expand our perspective of wisdom and truth, leveling us up to celebrate so within and so without, enhancing intuition, aligning our higher self, rebirthing our psyche, integrating the innermost levels of ourself. This also confirms the entire cosmos is within, issuing the call of action to be empowered, to shine our light, and to take care of ourselves and be wise about who we're willing to become. Today's Mindful Monday, I invite you to take a journey to the world behind your eyes, right here, right now. Soften your heart, open to embrace the purifying alchemist within you, within your soul, ready to distill divine wisdom into tangible reality. Take a breath. Open to be unapologetic and honoring the divine source, trusting truth, letting go of archaic beliefs, blocking self-empowerment and purpose. So let's lean into our Mindful Monday meditation. With that breath, begin to anchor your feet to the floor. Connect with the earth. Connect to the roots of your soul. Align with the love of self. Just breathe and be right here, right now, in this moment, open to the wisdom of the Most High. Relax and let go. Grounding yourself, centering yourself, then opening the space to take your power back from any person, place, or thing, impeding clarity and alignment. Relax. Center yourself. Center yourself to embrace your inner alchemist. Breathe, relax, and let go. Grounding yourself, holding yourself in your center right here, right now, ready to embrace divine wisdom. Allow yourself to connect to your heart, to align your heart and mind to truth, anchoring yourself in your spiritual roots, honoring your wholeness. Let go and breathe. Relax. Feel honored and safe. Just breathe and listen to the voice within. Be right here, right now, calming your mind, letting go. Relax. Let go. Open to your purpose. Open to celebrate your best life. Be in this moment, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. Calling forward soul-shifting power, aiding the transformation you seek and the clarity you need, connect to your breath right here, right now. And with each exhalation, let go and align. Lean into your divine self-love. With every breath, allow yourself to trust transformation. Relax your lips, your teeth, your tongue. Just relax and feel empowered. Find your inner strength. Let go and be centered. Relax and breathe. And as you breathe, unapologetically honor your oneness with divine source. Give yourself permission to embrace what your fulfillment looks like. Breathe, relaxing, and calling your angels and your ancestors as you surrender to inner peace. Allow your mind and body to be open and ready to embrace divine guidance, celebrating personal empowerment. Find stillness. Call forth miracles. Surrender to grace and ease. Breathe, being bold and ready to live, empowered and guided by innate wisdom. Right here, right now, honor self-empowerment. Make the promise to be on purpose, to stand in gratitude with conviction. Relax, let go. And now breathe. Taking the biggest breath you've had all morning, quieting your mind to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today I pick up my power, embracing divine wisdom, transforming my life, manifesting my highest good with grace and ease. Today I pick up my power, embracing divine wisdom, transforming my life, manifesting my highest good with grace and ease. Sit with that as you slowly begin to bring your awareness back to present time. Breathe, relax, and giving yourself permission to pick up your power, to embrace divine wisdom, to transform your life, and to open to the manifestation of your highest good unfolding with grace and ease. Now as you bring your awareness back, feel your feet anchored to the floor. Bring your center back to your breath. Maybe rest your hands on your thighs. And slowly bring yourself back to present time. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed lunar eclipse week, embracing divine wisdom, manifesting your highest good with grace and ease.
Wow. Okay, Saharah. That was a great affirmation, and I'm thinking about you got all the way through this Mindful Monday without mentioning the retrograde. Too tough. And I was wondering because you were talking, I think a couple weeks ago about this Pisces transit, where that is also going retrograde. How do these things stack up? If you have Mercury retrograde and some other stuff retrograde, is that like, is it exponentially? Is it squared or is it times two, or are they just two separate things that don't resonate with each other?
Well, this is a real powerful time because you have Mercury retrograde and all of this. You have the Mercury retrograde, the Sun in Pisces, Venus in Pisces, and so you have all of this opposite the Moon in Virgo, and the Moon in Virgo and this Piscean Sun and all the retrograde planets and Venus and everybody being there. It's an eclipse that creates a system of auditing. It releases what's working and what's not working. It's initiating a karmic balance on all levels. And so it's real important to understand that we are at a new beginning. And every time there's a new beginning, there's a lot of chaos because the chaos has to come to the surface to be released. And so it's real important for us to maintain the focus on Who are we willing to become after it's all said and done? This is not a, manifestation cycle. This is about releasing and letting go of any beliefs, any actions, any dynamics, person, place, or thing that is impeding you embracing the divine wisdom within you. Because this solar eclipse is attached to a Virgo moon, and Virgo is the great balancer. It is like the sign that finds where there is incongruencies and it balances everything out. It's like a fine-tooth comb. It is like it's like if it's broke, here is where it's broke, here is where you need to fix it. So when you think of Virgo, they're nitpicky, they have a keen eye, but they are the energy that we need. They're the great alchemists that help us transmute what is not working. So this is a very powerful time to release what's no longer serving you. Like McCoy shared with me, the spiritual bypass. And so we can no longer step over negativity, hateration, or disrespect with the fallacy of maintaining our spiritual truth. We have to be in our spiritual truth and be empowered and know that with this whole event going on with the retrogrades and the full lunar eclipse event, it's empowering us to speak our truth, to be compensated, to be celebrated, and to be elevated as we honor our power and our truth. So this is not a time to back down. This is a time to step up, not just for the collective consciousness, but in your own life. It's time to stop procrastinating. It's time to, get rid of that broken cup with the handle on and keep saying, I'm going to fix it. It's just, if it's not working, let it go. If you have a war in it, let it go. If you have a hole in it and you still love it, let it go. If he ain't saying the right things, let it go. If she's not doing the right things, let it go. If it's not honoring you or helping you transmute your life to level up, let it go.
Yeah. Well, Saharah Ali, thank you for that. I think there's a sound bath coming up, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe on the 21st.
Okay, you can always go to saharahali.com to find out more, saharahali.com. The 21st at Yoga House in Pasadena, that would be 5:45, 5:55. It starts at 6, right? But you got to get there before 6.
Right. But 5:45 is time to get there. But double check Yoga House's schedule. It's yogahouse.com. And, and I teach a class there every Friday. And, and just for the KBLA listeners, my door is always open for you to come in and get recalibrated. And I'm always open to share wisdom and insight. So just call Elise and schedule something.
Elise is at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Saharah Ali, thanks so much.
Thank you, Dominique and KBLA family. Be wise and stand in your power.
Be wise and stand in your power. And your power is to speak your mind right now. Phone lines are open, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima for Unapologetically Outspoken, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Right now on a Mindful Monday, and yes, that class with Saharah Ali is the 21st. You got to get there by about 5:45. You get a spot. It's at the Yoga House in Pasadena. I looked it up so you don't have to. So I don't know how many of you got a chance to watch the NAACP Image Awards. I didn't get to sit and watch it gavel to gavel, but what I saw was great. It was busy weekend around here. Of course, on Thursday, we paid tribute to the people that make us laugh in tough times with the Black History Month Luncheon, the annual Black History Month Luncheon that KBLA does. And what a beautiful lineup of comedians and just folks, people coming out to show them love. And then Friday at the First AME Church, we had a homegoing celebration for Reverend Jesse Jackson on the West Coast. As you know, there are a number of celebrations of life going on for Reverend Jackson in several different states on the East Coast and the South, and we honored him here in Los Angeles at the First AME Church. It was a lovely, lovely group of folks, and thank you to everyone who came out to celebrate his life. Our KBLA delegation was very, very strong. Saturday night, I had the opportunity to host the LA County African American Employee Association, LACAA as they call themselves, gala, and they honored my friend, Judge Songhai Armstead, as an impactful leader in LA County, which was powerful thing, and congratulations to you, Judge Armstead, on that. They also honored Dr. Curly Bonds, who's the head of the LA County Mental Health, and he's been on this show a couple times. Lovely to see him. He made a great speech, as did my friend Judge Armstead, and it was a fun reminder of how even though people around the country like to say there's no black people in LA, there's a whole bunch of us, and we're doing great things. The LACAA, the LA County African American Employees Association, shows you also that there are black people in every corner of this county doing great work. And I was thinking about it because I talk about the city of LA, close to, I think it's close to 300,000 of us here. There's close to 500,000 of us in the county. I think it's, no, it's more than 500,000. It's close to 1 million. It's, I think, 700 or 800,000 of us. And so people say there's not a lot of black people because they're looking at percentage of the population, of which we fall somewhere between 6 and 9%, depending on who you ask and any given year. But there's a lot of people in LA. So 8% of, millions is, ta-da, close to 1 million. So there you have it. And that was a beautiful thing. Congrats going out to Judge Shanghai Armstead. And congrats going out to everyone who joined us. I think that the 57th NAACP Image Awards was like a period on the end of a sentence that we've been having a long paragraph about, which is whether or not we still need black award shows. I think Stacey Dash famously said we don't, and some others have said the same thing. Why do we need NAACP awards? Why do we need BET awards? Some of those award shows have fallen by the wayside of late. But I feel like after the calamity at the BAFTA Awards with the disabled man with Tourette's syndrome yelling out the N-word, he yelled out other words too, but they were edited out by the producers, and the N-word, of course, was famously left hanging in the air as Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan were on stage. The massive collective hug that was the NAACP Awards, the way that black people showed love to Delroy and Michael B. Jordan, the way that we showed love to each other, the way that we showed up and celebrated our own impact on the culture, I think it answers that question, and that's why I said it's a period on the end of the sentence for two reasons. We can say we don't need the Oscars or the Emmys or the Tonys or the Grammys, and we don't need validation by mainstream America, and that is true. However, those awards do come with money and opportunity. On the other hand, it's important to have our own space and show and prove that there is an alternate reality, and your reality, Oscars, your reality, Golden Globes, is just that, one world, one perspective. Perhaps it's the moneyed perspective, but it's just one perspective. And you felt that so clearly watching the NAACP Awards and the way we just loved up on us about why, in fact, it's a great thing to have the Actor Awards. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more, only right here.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. President Trump says that members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard who lay down their arms will be granted full immunity.
The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands.
Trump said in a video address on True Social Sunday that those who do not will face certain death, adding it won't be pretty. He then continued to urge the Iranian people to seize the moment. Apple is unveiling some new hardware this week. The tech company will skip the standard one-day event and announce new products over 3 days starting today. And Sinners won big at the NCAA Image Awards. Ryan Coogler's vampire movie won 13 awards, including for Best Picture. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill weekdays after 3 p.m. for their $5 happy hour and try their new chili crisp dumplings. Bold, crunchy, and toss in a fiery crisp paired with a premium Wa beverage drink like their authentic Thai tea. Get both for just $5 only at Waba Grill. It's for you.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers wrapped up their two-game road trip up north with a 128-104 win at Sacramento. Luka Doncic played only 3 quarters but finished with 28 points and 9 assists. LeBron dropped 24 points. The Lakers beat Sacramento and Golden State by a combined 52 points. The Clippers snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 137-117 win over New Orleans at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. The 137 is a season high for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard had 23 points. The Clippers are at Golden State tonight. Congratulations to the UCLA women's basketball team. The number 2 team in the country beat USC Sunday 73-50 to finish 18-0 in the Big Ten Conference. The Bruins are the first women's basketball team to go undefeated in the Big Ten since Maryland did it in 2015. Charlize Leger-Walker led the Bruins with 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships, because thriving takes more than talent. talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
It does, and we're doing a deep dive on the situation in Iran next hour. Looking forward to that. But I was just pointing out that I feel like I've always felt like it's a good thing to have our own awards, the NAACP Image Awards, BET, Soul Train when we had it, whatever it might be. And I feel like it's become even more important now. You could hear it, you could see it, you could get it from the air. Watching Sinners win, I think 13 NAACP Awards, including Best Motion Picture Outstanding Actor for Michael B. Jordan, Breakthrough Performance, Miles Caton, and a lot of other awards, right? Michael B. Jordan won Entertainer of the Year, beating out Kendrick Lamar and Doechii and Teyana Taylor. So great night for him. And not surprising, right? If the Oscars gives Sinners 16 nominations, which is an all-time record, we're not surprised that they get a lot of NAACP awards, but that's still a good thing. What was more surprising was to see the next day the Screen Actors Guild, the Actor Awards, which is voted on by fellow members of SAG. So you've got to be a union actor to vote on these awards. And they gave Best Actor to Michael B. Jordan. And that was incredible. I love that so much for us because this is his peers in the industry saying, no, you did this. They did not go with Timothée Chalamet or any of the other nominees. They went with Michael B. Jordan, and he was clearly very surprised and humbled by that. Sinners also won an award that they don't have at the Oscars, which I wish they did have. It's called the Ensemble Award or the Cast Award because it recognizes, teamwork makes the dream work. Just like being an athlete, it's not just who can take the most shots, who's Kobe. It's what, how are you working together as a team? And it's possibly even more important in acting than it is in sports. So I was happy to see that. Cast Award is very prestigious. It means every single actor on the show was recognized for, or in the film was recognized for the way they work together. And to be chosen as Best Actor and Best Ensemble, and I believe that's Ryan Coogler's second Best Ensemble, which means he's done something that no director has done, which is saying a lot. That means every actor's going to want to work with Coogler because if he's creating these ensembles where people feel empowered and supported to shine and do their best work and win awards and have fun even with dark material, well, that's the kind of thing that makes everybody in the industry want to work with you. It's a creative artistry nod that is very, very important, I think. So that was a beautiful thing to see. And I think it's going to make it a little harder to ignore him at the Oscars. Plus the thing that Forbes pointed out, which I didn't realize, is that that actors are the single largest voting bloc in the Academy. So if the members of the Screen Actors Guild gave you an actor award, it becomes more likely that you might win an Oscar because those are the Oscar voters. And that would be a wild, it would be a huge upset, I think, because all of these, I'm going to say most of these entertainment journals and journalists haven't even been talking about Michael B. Jordan as a contender for Best Actor, which to me is bizarre because his performance in Sinners is astounding. It's so good. He's got detailed characters. He's playing twins. They're identical twins, but their characters are so different. And so the fact that he hasn't even been in the conversation for Best Actor, they've just been passing over him like there's no way he'd win. I love that for us. I love that for us, the members of the Screen Actors Guild who said, nah, we picked Mike. And we'll see what's going to happen at the Oscars, because a lot of us had the theory they're going to give them 16 noms and no awards. I think that's a little less likely after the Actor Awards. Let's go to Fahima calling us from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Queen.
Habarigani and Kate Pasa, Dominique. First, I want to thank KBLA for the services for Reverend Jesse Jackson last week at the First AME Church. I grew up in the AME Church. My grandparents were both ministers in Trinity AME Church in New York, and so I'm very grateful for that. And I wanted to share that before I made some very general comments. I wanted to start out by saying the quote from Malcolm X about the media, and just caution our community because, as Malcolm said, the media is very powerful and they have the ability to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent. And that applies to all things. We used to say, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And now with the advent of AI, we have to scrutinize, check, and verify everything that we see. And so I just wanted to share those sentiments, and also encourage people not to get caught up with a lot of the propaganda that we're hearing as it relates to everything. And Dominique, please have Dr. Horn come on specifically to talk about the situation in Iran, because there's a lot of things that I'm seeing. I saw someone posted a video from when Trump was president, and they were articulating things that were said then as if it was happening in real time. So I just want to caution our community to please check everything and don't take anything for granted. And that's really my submission for today.
Okay, thank you, Fahima. I appreciate that. You know, we're always trying to get Dr. Horn on to talk about everything. And so, of course, we have already reached out to him. But he has a whole job. We're trying to get him in here all the time. Just because he has done such an amazing job of helping cut through that propaganda with facts. And he's always so up on what's going on internationally with a lens that seems to sift out a lot of the stuff you're talking about. Propaganda, I don't know that we always recognize it. Old clips passing for new clips on the internet, deadly, is so common. And so, yeah, you got to check and double check. A Google search, a Google News search, crack a book, look at somebody that's look at more than one website, look at more than one thought leader. So of course we're looking forward to talking to Dr. Horn. I'm not sure when he's coming back exactly, but the services for the Reverend Jesse Jackson are continuing today. Service in South Carolina ongoing now, and then of course Chicago and Washington D.C. Also having their own services. So the nation is really stepping up to say goodbye to somebody who should be treated as a president and as a head of state. And shame on House Speaker Mike Johnson for not lowering the flags, but the people know. Congratulations. The people win again with celebrations of the Reverend's life all over this country. Fahima called me at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
You are the architect of your own legacy, but you don't have to build it alone. I'm Lisanne Basquiat, a board-certified NLP expert and legacy healing strategist. I've built the Shaping Freedom platform to give you the exact tools you need to evolve. From my signature podcast and Lounging with Lisanne meditations to our intentional candles and journals. Stop living on autopilot. Visit shapingfreedom.com to access the teachings and tools you deserve for you and your family. Your evolution begins at shapingfreedom.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Not at all, and apparently neither should you, not just according to me and Tavis, but also according to Saharah Ali, SaharahAli.com, if you need to get yourself together. We're going to do a deep dive on what's happening in Iran with Dr. Majid Sadegpour when we come forward in our final hour today, as this war, well, you can call it something else. They always seem to call them attacks or responses, but looks like a war. If it walks like a war and talks like a war, seems to be escalating. The president said this morning that those attacks will continue until all of the U.S. goals are met. What those goals are, we don't exactly know, but we know for sure regime change is one of them. After the U.S. and Israel killed the supreme leader, and obviously that's that means regime change is imminent. But one thing I found interesting, and I'm looking forward to asking about it next hour when we talk with Dr. Sadegpour, is that I noticed the president did not say that he would be running Iran. That's what they said about Venezuela. We're going to be running Venezuela, right? And we know he's stolen their oil. We don't know where the money's going from the sales of that oil. Looks like it's going into a Trump slush fund. But in Iran, he called on the people to take back your country, whatever that means, and saying this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Very interesting that he didn't say we're going to be running Iran. And it seems like this whole situation is escalating. It's very worrisome for me and probably for you. So can't wait to get some scholarly insight here. Israel now bombing Lebanon because they say Hezbollah fired on them. My other concern, and I hate it when I agree with MAGA. Every once in a while that happens. I hate it because I just think that they're fact deprived. They're starved for data. They're starved for actual verification. But the agreement comes in this part that seems to be driving the president's approval ratings down, which is, you said you were going to be America first, and now you're starting all these wars. You said you were going to be the guy that was ending forever wars, and now you're starting more and more of them. He's bombed 8 countries in 12 calendar months. That's insane, and still thinks he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. And so, on the one hand, Secretary of Defense, even though he likes to cosplay as Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth says that we didn't start this war, but we're going to finish it because we fight to win. That's a quote from the Secretary of Idiocy. You just bombed Iran. Of course you started the war. I mean, we can take any conflict back to its ancient roots, but when you bomb a country, especially in conjunction with Israel, and Israel has been wanting this for the longest time, Netanyahu has the same problem as Trump. You know, he actually has a worse problem than Trump because his Supreme Court didn't give him total immunity, and he's awaiting the verdict on his corruption charges. Things like bombing Iran keep him in the presidency and out of jail, kind of like our president, a 34-time felon who is doing everything he can possibly think of to distract you and me from the Epstein files. I'm really proud of us for that, because I feel like people in the United States are not forgetting about the Epstein files, no matter how much they flood the zone. And I see endless memes, nice war needs more Epstein files. I mean, people are not turning away from this, and I love that for us, especially now that the fact that this accusation from a woman, and all of the papers go out of their way to say that it's unverified, but nevertheless, there is an accusation that, at least one, okay, but one in particular that was taken out of these files, where a woman who was a minor at the time, accuses the president of sexual assault upon her. And the evidence seems to point to the fact that the Justice Department withheld that. Now, what else are they withholding? There's another 13 million files, pages of whatever it is. And so clearly they're still protecting the president. Of course, he denies wrongdoing. I feel like every article has to point that out. And we're hearing from Hillary Clinton. Not Ghislaine Maxwell, not Trump, not these countless men whose names are coming up, although we are starting to see some people stepping down from their positions and getting pressured out of their positions more in other countries than here, but even here in the United States. And so it's not going away. And I don't think the elections are going away either, as much as he's trying to change the rules and also start wars in the plural so that he can declare a state of emergency and not have elections. And to me, when this president speculates out loud about stuff, he almost always does it. That's why I was so worried for Greenland, right? Because when he starts going, well, maybe we should not have elections at all. Yeah, that'd be good. Let's not have elections at all. Or when he speculates and says, oh, so if we have a war, then we don't have to have an election. He's thinking, maybe charitable. He's plotting out loud, and he doesn't have a filter. So we see where this is going. On the one hand, Pete Hegseth says, we didn't start this, but we're going to finish it, and we're playing to win. On the other hand, the president says, we're going to be there until we get all of our objectives met, and those objectives are not clearly defined, and no war has been declared by Congress. So he can just stay there, and it can be the next Afghanistan, it can be the next Iraq, it can be the next Vietnam. It can be these endless wars where we spend trillions in treasure while we're being told that we can't afford universal health care. Israel has it. So why do they need our money? Why do they need our help to bomb Iran? If they already have enough money to pay for free college and free health care for their people, why are we paying for their bombs? The other thing that I hate to admit when I agree with MAGA is that a lot of them are pointing out that it seems like Israel has more power than they should have over the United States. When I say more power than they should have, if we're the benefactor, if the United States of America and her taxpayers are the ones writing you checks, traditionally $2 or $3 billion a year, but way more since the attacks on Gaza have started. If we're the ones writing you the check, shouldn't we be the ones dictating the terms? If we're the sugar daddy, don't we set the agenda and the itinerary? But in fact, in the case of Israel, the tail is wagging the dog. It seems like most of the time, Netanyahu says jump and Trump says how high. How does that make sense? If I'm paying for you, how are you telling me what to do? Well, that's the thing that MAGA is asking, and I think for some, the Epstein files may hold some keys to that puzzle. But in any case, I believe that finally American U.S. voters are giving this whole situation the side eye, giving it more scrutiny, less willing to believe the official story. And the Epstein files is part of that because there are so many people, Republicans and Democrats and world leaders in other countries and financial leaders and scholars in our prestigious institutions that are there, that are implicated. It changes the game in terms of how we look at people in power, I hope, because, you know, like I've said in the past, if I'm a conspiracy theorist, I'm laughing and saying I told you so right now, even though some of my wacky stuff might not be true. The idea that there is a cabal of perverted, amoral, mostly white men that run this country, well, it's not really just a theory anymore. I'm going to do a deep dive and find out, get our questions answered. You're also always welcome to call in. We talk about Iran, what is going on there, putting it in context. Dr. Majid Sadegpour joins us next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. President Trump says that members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard who lay down their arms will be granted full immunity.
The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands.
Trump said in a video address on True Social